We are standing in the backyard, or I guess the front yard of my tiny house that you see right behind me. And listen, I have launched a lot of personal Airbnbs in my time, but this right here is by far my favorite backyard I've ever launched. So today I'm gonna break down the 7 amenities that I chose for this backyard, why I chose them, why I think that they're super important going into 2026, and how much each one of them cost. As in the line item costs for every single amenity, and the entire budget for launching this Airbnb backyard. Let's get into it. Okay, number 1, you see someone in the background here. We are painting, not a mural, but we're doing stripes on our fence. Now, generally speaking, I think that some type of mural in your Airbnb is a mandatory. The Funkit team did a lot of brainstorming on what we wanted to do for the mural, and instead of doing a graphic backyard, we opted in for black and white stripes just to make this backyard pop a little. And honestly, I think it worked. Check it out. Now, when it comes to graphic murals, I think it's really important to have some kind of nod to the city that you're in. So I'm gonna B-roll a couple of my favorite murals that Funkit has knocked out over the last year. And as you can see, every single one has a specific color palette and generally pays homage to the city that the Airbnb is located in. So murals, you gotta do it. Generally, murals are gonna cost you anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500 to get done, especially if it's super custom and super intricate on the actual graphics itself. And that's what you usually can expect to pay. For me to get this job done, it was about $500 plus the cost of paint. Okay, let's move on to number 2. This is mandatory. You've probably already seen it a little bit in some of the shots. String lights. This is the easiest way to amp up the vibes of your short-term rental. And honestly, the ROI on this is insane when you consider that string lights are like 20 to 30 bucks. This is a 105-foot strand. I think I paid $25, and it honestly makes the nighttime feel of this Airbnb just really come to life. Check it out. It's currently about 8 p.m. and it's fairly dark outside, but it really illuminates my backyard the perfect amount, I'd say. I don't have a ton of exterior lighting between my tiny house and my string lights and my one floodlight right here. That's about it. I'm not trying to completely illuminate my backyard and disturb my neighbors and create a ton of light pollution in my backyard. Just something for people to hang out outside and be able to see each other, you know? It took me and my best friend 2 or 3 hours just because for us, we didn't just hang string lights. We also attached that wire that you see right there for extra security. Is it completely necessary to do the extra wire for the security? Probably not, but the last thing I want is for my string lights to snap under the tension and then fall and electrocute someone. It's just lawsuit central, and this is the wire that I chose right here. I'll link it down in the description for you down below. Pretty cheap. Number 3 is the standard of the short-term rental industry, and I'm just gonna move past it very quickly because it's kind of boring compared to number 4 and what I think is gonna be the new standard of the short-term rental industry. Number 3 is a hot tub. This is mine right here, and there's a few things that I did to plus this one up. Hot tubs, admittedly, are a pain in the ass, but they objectively will make you more money. There's some data out there that says a hot tub can add up to $50 to your ADR, your average daily rate. So if you just multiply that times your occupancy, that can be pretty significant. But they are also the most finicky amenity that I have by far. So a couple of things here before I tell you what I think the new hot tub for Airbnb is. Oop, mosquito. Do we have mosquitoes in LA now? Like, what is this? I want my money back. The one thing that was so special about LA was 70-degree weather and no mosquitoes. If I want mosquitoes, I can go to Texas. I feel like California is scamming me right now. So anyways, in regards to the finickiness of hot tubs, there's 2 reasons. 1, they always just feel like they break down. And 2, they get dirty. And I'll tell you right now that having your hot tub maintenance once a week is not gonna cut it. You typically want it 2 times a week. Otherwise, you'll have guests that check in with a nasty hot tub and then they complain and then they want their money back. So here are my quick hot tub tips. Generally speaking, you have the option to wire a hot tub, what's called the plug and play method, 110, where you basically hook it up into the wall, into a regular outlet. Don't do this because it's gonna be very hard to get your hot tub heated in time if you ever have to refill the water. And yeah, you're just gonna wanna spend the extra money for the second option, which is like the 220 volt or the 240 volt. This specific hot tub is like the gold standard for the short-term rental industry. It's about 3,800 bucks, but after taxes and delivery, it usually ends up being about 4,000 to 4,200 bucks. I'll link that in the description for you. I'm satisfied with it. It's not the nicest hot tub in the world. The cover itself isn't super nice, but it gets the job done. Here are my 2 plus ups. 1, I have a hot tub cover holder. That was about, I don't know, $50 to $80 on Amazon. And 2, I bought steps that came out to about $120 to $140. And number 3, a handrail that slides right under the hot tub so that people have something to hold on to when they're climbing into the hot tub. This is really more of a safety and liability thing. I think it's well worth the expense. All right, let's get into number 4, the new hot tub. This bad boy right here, a sauna. This is my first time ever putting one of these in one of my personal Airbnbs, and man, I am excited. I did a lot of research on these saunas, and here's what I can tell you. I ended up going with the Backyard Discovery Paxton Barrel Sauna, and man, let me tell you, this thing is freaking awesome. awesome. I really wanted to amp up the luxury feel and the wellness aspect of this Airbnb. So to me, going with the Paxton barrel sauna, that's just gonna elevate me above my competition for sure. This home is gonna be able to sleep about 8 people, but at the same time, not everyone's gonna fit in my hot tub either. So 4 can be in the hot tub, 4 can be in the sauna. A couple of things, and then I'm gonna give you a super hack on how to save some money on that guy. From an electricity standpoint, it is not plug and play. It is a 240 volt connection. So if you have an electrician coming out, maybe they'll give you a deal to wire up both your hot tub and your barrel sauna. From an assembly standpoint, it is a DIY job if you want it to be. I was just so in the weeds of setting up this Airbnb that I hired it out. It was a handy couple that I found off of Facebook Marketplace. Dude, they crushed out this installation. It took them, I wanna say like 6-7 hours. I paid them $600 for the assembly of it. I would say that if you're super handy and very passionate about saving money and DIY, the instructions seem pretty clear, so if you got some grit and tenacity, go for it. Generally speaking, for a 240 volt connection, an electrician's gonna charge you anywhere from $800 to $1,200. My guy in town and my connection here in LA, I got it for about $400. And now for my super hack and the cost for the actual barrel sauna itself. Right now, if you go to the Backyard Discovery website, it's $39.99. However, if you go through Host GPO, you will get a massive discount on this barrel sauna. I love Host GPO so freaking much. If you're unfamiliar with the concept of a GPO, it stands for Group Purchasing Organization. It basically goes to all of these giant brands like Backyard Discovery and they say, hey, we have a large network of short-term rental hosts that will be buying your product. Give us the best discount in the industry. And then a company like Backyard Discovery says, yeah, oh my gosh, we want to be in your network of thousands and tens of thousands of hosts. We're going to sell a ton of volume on this. And because of that, we're going to pass on a huge discount to all of your customers. So with all of that said, Host GPO is like the greatest deal on planet Earth. It is $120 a year for the membership. And generally speaking, you're gonna save 30 to 70% off of the price listed on the websites of the brands that they work with. I'm not really allowed to say how much you'll save on this $4,000 sauna, but it's a lot. And special little link for you down below will get you a 3-month free trial. So you can literally sign up for free, buy the barrel sauna if you want, and then not sign up for the full year. But I'm telling you, I literally save tens of thousands of dollars every single year with Host GPO. That is a super free raw built endorsement because I have saved well over 6 figures with those guys. All right, let's move on to amenity number 5. Since we're on the topic of luxury amenities in your Airbnb, and because I'm a man and because I'm a father that likes to grill, this next amenity is like heaven for me. Okay, number 5, if you want to just like super elevate your backyard, an outdoor kitchen. This thing right here, okay, it is rare to get me giddy, but I just find myself staring at this outdoor kitchen with heart eyes just all day. This whole outdoor kitchen is by Range Outdoor Living. Specifically, if you guys want to do your research, it's the Emery 9-foot outdoor kitchen island. And by the way, I don't get any kind of cut from you buying this kitchen. I just really love it. The appliances are like super high quality, professional grade. That grill is one of those grill inserts that are like if you buy a grill insert from like a big box store, those are usually like $2,000 to $3,000 alone. And this one is super beautiful. You have the option between propane and natural gas. I'm a natural gas guy for backyards, and I'm gonna explain why in a little bit. It's got an outdoor fridge, it's got a collapsible sink. And general price point for this whole setup right here, about $64.99. But I'm just gonna beat a dead horse here. If you wanna save a lot of money on this, go through Host GPO. It feels like I'm robbing Range Outdoor Living, but it's legal because they set up the agreement with Host GPO. Now that I have this outdoor kitchen, it makes me realize that I've always just put these little dinky $200-300 grills outside that end up just getting destroyed. They rust out and they get janky over the course of 1 or 2 years. And now, not only do I have an insane grill, but I have a fridge, a sink, a countertop. And yeah, I'm really passionate about this new backyard. Maybe it's because I've been working till 3 a.m. for the past 6 nights to launch this Airbnb, and I finally get to see it all put together. But I don't know, I feel like from where I started in this game to what I've just accomplished in the last 6 days, I'm just really proud. And you know, nothing fuels my creative soul like seeing the original tiny house that started it all. So yeah, I guess I'm a little nostalgic and sentimental to see this house, which was my first huge milestone as a real estate investor, come full circle to all of this. I actually feel like in my zip code, in my sub-market within LA, I have one of the nicest backyards, if not the nicest backyard out of all of my competition. And this whole backyard was designed by the landscape department at Funkit. For a long time, people designed the hell out of the interiors of their Airbnbs, and no one gave any thought to the backyard experience. But most people, especially in LA, want to hang out outside. So I wanted people to come outside and feel like they could do a little bit of everything. From cooking to dining to wellness to relaxation in the hot tub to vibes. All right, let's keep the line moving. Okay, number 5, patio space with adequate seating for people to hang out. So I've got this whole sectional right here, which is from Article. Ignore the fire pit because that's the next amenity. So just pretend like you didn't see that. And I've got this patio table here that can seat 8 people, which is the amount of people that I can sleep at this house. Usually for a good outdoor sectional, you're gonna pay anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000. I'll break down what this costs in a bit. Same thing here for all the chairs. A good outdoor kitchen table is gonna be anywhere from $800 to $1,400 bucks. And your chairs anywhere from $100 to $200 a piece as well. Again, people can eat inside, but why would they? It's LA and it's 63 degrees outside. I'm just gonna keep saying this because I want you to save money. This Article sofa right here, Article is a partner of Host GPO. So again, as a member, I can't tell you how much I saved on this couch, but it was hundreds. I think I can say that, but whatever. I like Article for outdoor and indoor stuff. Just very quality furniture. Outdoor furniture gets beat up so badly. So trust me, it is a little bit more expensive to go with something like Article, but it will last you so much longer than like the generic stuff you get off of Amazon. I'm telling you, I've visited so many of my Airbnbs and just been straight up mortified by the condition of the sectionals that I've purchased off of Amazon or other cheap websites. So just don't do it. Spend the money. Buy nice, not thrice. Amenity number 6, fire pit. The one amenity that really just really gives me a hard time are fire pits. Requires so many systems to make sure that your guests are never complaining about propane tanks. So I think it's really important to spend the extra money to, 1, buy a fire pit that can be converted from propane to natural gas, which is what this one was. This is about 500 bucks right here. And 2, hiring a plumber to come out and plumb a natural line gas to your propane tank. I don't know exactly how much that's gonna cost me, but my guy here in LA is gonna do it for like 400 to 500 bucks. Same thing with my grill over here. I have the option to go propane or natural gas. I'm gonna spend the extra money to just have it be natural gas so that I never have to worry about propane tanks on this property. And that right there will make the management of my property so much easier. All right, last amenity, mini putt, AKA mini golf. This whole backyard was a construction zone literally like 2 days ago. This was all sod and the grading was super sloped. And so I hired these dudes off of Facebook Marketplace to come and remove 4 to 5 inches from my yard, flatten it out a bit, and install this entire turf patch that you see back here. And man, I feel like I got away with robbery on this one. They did such a good job. I truly do not know how these guys made money because I paid $3,500 for about 580 square feet of turf. Comes out to about $6 a square foot. Generally speaking, turf is gonna cost you between $5 to $7 a square foot in most cities. In LA, that tends to be a lot higher. Again, I got a really great deal. I posted this to Instagram and a lot of people told me that they spent $10,000 to $20,000 for a similar size piece of turf, which sounds high. I don't think they got enough quotes. Honestly, my initial quote with a different company was about $7,000, to which I said no. So when I got this quote, it was an instant yes. Again, this one's all about giving my guests something to do outside on a nice night, and it brings one of those family-friendly amenities to the table too. Is mini golf required? No, but is it something that the Funkit landscape design team generally puts in every single one of our backyards? Yes. I'm just gonna B-roll some of our clients that we've done similar designs for, and a lot of our clients do $150,000 to $350,000 a year in revenue, so I'm telling you, this right here is a slam dunk amenity. Aside from the playability and the fun aspect of it, it just looks so vibrant in photos, and it just gives your backyard a super high-end and luxe feel. Okay, those are the 8 amenities that I feel are fairly crucial in 2026 if you want a killer backyard. Whether you have a small backyard, medium backyard, large backyard, you can bring any vision to life. This right here is a really small backyard, and it feels so big now because we thoughtfully designed every square inch of that backyard. If you want help designing a killer backyard, my team can help you do it. I'll leave a link in the description down below for you to book a free call with our team. We'll run through your numbers, your budgets, we'll pull up AirDNA comps, we'll talk ROI and numbers with you and see if we can help you, which I know we can. So, link in the description down below. Now let's get into the official budget breakdown of this backyard. I obviously gave you a general idea of the cost of some of these, but there are a lot of unseen costs as well, and I wanna be as transparent as possible with you. So let's start at the top here. The mural came out to $550. That was $500 for the labor, $50 for the paint. String light's about 150 bucks. I went a little high here because the string lights were actually 60 and the wire was $21, but there are a few other things that I bought like hooks and extension cord, stuff like that. Hot tub, all right, a lot of costs associated with the hot tub itself. Hot tub itself, about $4,000. Then we had to pour a concrete pad underneath. The labor on that was $1,800 because it's a pretty thick pad and it's really quite a bit of work. The concrete itself was $800. So to get a very solid concrete pad, we're looking at about 2,600 bucks. On the high end, you could definitely get it done cheaper, but that was a very large pad and I'm okay with it. Then I paid about $400 to wire it up, and then another $350 in accessories like the handrail, the lid cover, and the steps. So just the hot tub line item itself, $6,300. You can definitely get scrappier than that, but that's what I spent. The sauna, I'm gonna give you the price that you would pay, because remember, I'm not allowed to say how much you'll save on Host GPO. It's part of the rules and I'm gonna respect that. $4,400 after tax on the sauna. Again, you'll save quite a bit of money on that if you go through Host GPO. $400 to wire it up for 240 volts. And then I spent $1,000 in labor to get that assembled and the outdoor kitchen. The official breakdown on that though was $600 to get the barrel sauna assembled and $400 to get the outdoor kitchen assembled. And then my oh so beautiful range outdoor living kitchen came out to $6,400. Again, you'll save a significant amount off of that price on Host GPO's website. And then my patio space with the adequate seating, we're talking about the sectional, the patio table, the dining chairs, that came out to about $4,400. My fire pit that has a natural gas conversion element to it was about $500, and then about another $500 for the natural gas install. And then my turf and mini putt comes out to $3,700. Now, I said $3,500, but I ended up paying those guys another $200 to move extra dirt that was in the backyard. So that's why it's a little higher at $3,700. And then kind of the unseen cost that I didn't talk about earlier in the video was my entire outdoor deck area. You don't have to do this. I just completely rebuilt mine. So I spent $6,000 on materials for both the pergola and Trex composite boards. And then I spent $8,500 on the labor. So about $14,400 for an insane pergola. I honestly think I got a really good deal on that too, because yeah, decking is expensive and that could easily be a $30,000 deck. And then lastly, the railing. You might have seen a little bit in the B-roll, but the railing came out to about $4,000 in the backyard for a grand total of $46,800. That's how much I spent to completely revamp my backyard in Los Angeles. Which, to be honest, I mean, I think I did a pretty good job. I mean, this was me being super resourceful, hunting down deals, negotiating like crazy. My backyard could easily have cost twice that. I went DIY. I wasted a lot of long hours doing it myself, but you know, to say that I got all of that in the backyard for $46,800, call it $50,000 for anything that I might have missed. Actually, I did forget something. I forgot that I had to completely rebuild my fence, which came out to about $4,000 after both materials and labor, bringing my grand total to $50,800, which honestly, I still think is a slam dunk. Considering that this property is expected to do, you know, I'm gonna say on the low end, 125, I think 150, and I'm fairly certain it's gonna do more than that. I'll let you know. Okay, I'll make a whole video update if you're interested on how much I make in the first month of launching this property, but I think I'm gonna be really happy with it. So that's the backyard video. What's an amenity that you think I missed in the backyard? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget, if you want help designing your backyard, hit us up over at Funkit. Otherwise, if you want to see the most important amenities that you need in your Airbnb's kitchen, then you're gonna want to click right here, because we're gonna Gordon Ramsay the hell out of your Airbnb's kitchen, because it probably sucks. All right, see you here.